Let's see where the Nasdaq can get to, man. We are waiting. Had some great moves though this morning. This morning was crazy, crazy good actually. Let's take a look here. Kind of whipsawy, but you have to get in there and get out of there, right? This morning was some great movement. Then once we got up in here, broke this range here. This range was ugly. That's the opening range here. Once we opened up here, this move was quick, and then it literally took that whole move back. Right? Took that whole move back. Then we broke out again, and then we got another drive, man, which was crazy. Just overall, so far, good day. Good day. You just would have had to really stick to your targets, right? Get in there and get out of there. So as we watch this thing, we're gonna see if we can get some further pushes up here. Get back everything else set up. Alright. Possibly we'll get this bounce off here. 165s. That's what we're going to be looking for now. And we'll just set levels and just reactionary points. So we want to set points where we believe something will happen, and then we just literally, like I said, if it's going to go up, it has to literally go up, right? Then you can get these kind of ranges here, right? Oh yeah, that's so would it been the end of the day? I'm gonna see, man, cause if we, I mean, of course, 200s are here, right? 25, 200. This thing could be pretty exhausted. I need to be checking that as well. I wonder. Now my profile isn't loading here. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna load it up on Trading View, and we're gonna have both of those here. So right here, it's just really not getting any more follow through. The crazy thing is how this thing played out for the day, man. I mean, cause I mean, you could really be on both sides really real quick, right? You could be on the ugly side of this or the good side. And what helps me stay on the good side is just trading with the trend. And once you eliminate trying to trade against the overall direction, despite what you're thinking, then you could get somewhere. So working on that is literally the goal every single day. If you can work on just stop taking bad trades, I guarantee you it's only up from there. Let's take a look here. That and risk management, taking stops. That's been my problem. I think it's everybody's problem, right? Taking your stop. I don't know why. But once you learn to just get 1% at taking your stops, better at that every day, right? And you just work on that, man, I'm telling you, that's where it's at. So right now, of course, we're watching this 200 level. 200s, 25, 200. I mean, they're pretty much holding this whole number. A lot of people too, including myself, I was expecting some major drops, man. With all this different news out here, I mean, with war and these files, man, I was like, the markets are gonna freaking crash, man. They're gonna crash, and everything is leaving right now. And what happens? It goes up. So, like I say, what helps me go against those type of things when you think you know something? Even if you're right 50% of the time, right? 60% of the time, right? You could be wrong, right? That 40% will take your money. What helps you is filtering. That's what's helped me. Just filter out bad trades. If I ever want to sell, your selling stops here. Okay, no more selling. All right, you could take these extremes up here, but I mean, most of the time, depending, I eliminate those and just wait for the further move up. Right? Then put a narrative together. That's something else I'm working on. Right? Learn to put narratives together. Even against your own narrative, you gotta kind of be. You gotta see what's the narrative of the market, basically. What's driving it? What helps me a lot too? Something I built not too long ago. I was like, man, this makes so much sense. Is a like a heat map. Now the heat map helps drastically filter out stuff, right? It helps you like stay away from assets that's not moving. And it's just really looking at all of them at the same time, right? And I go through that pretty much every day. But we can go to year to date, for instance. We can see for the year to date, gold and oil has drastically outdone the entire market. And it's not an opinion, right? It's not an opinion. This is an actual fact that gold and oil for the year is going up. So trying to put more facts on it, that's something else I'm working on. I'm like, hey, do fact-based trading, right? Forget opinion. Alright, let's see what this thing is doing. Alright, we're back up. We're trying to get over this too. We start breaking out here. This could move. This could move. Alright. Back over two. Alright, let's test some things out here. Let's see what we can get. Also, another thing too I started paying attention to is the time. See what time it is? Alright. Beginning or closing of an hour, 5 minute, 15 minute. Okay. I've been wanting to learn options, man. That's something else I've been studying. Options, man. They kind of help you in a lot of these type of areas, even though they're like, I mean, it's logical that you would think 25, 200 is the number, but then you'll see a bunch of option contracts, of course, being traded right here, and then it becomes like some type of brick wall. Will we break? Will we break? Let's see if we can get one. I want to see how this 1 minute closes. If we could hold two. Whatchamacallit didn't load for some reason. Or it's still loading, that's why. Okay, we may got one here. Hidden ones. You want to see some people come in here and start buying this thing. Alright, we're gonna try. We saw a spurt here. No major reaction here. They're trying to hold us too. So we could flip back green. I think I'm gonna run it. No. Alright, so we didn't get that too close there. Yeah, we was just pretty much watching to see if anything heavy. It was a spurt that came through and it just wasn't followed with anything. Alright, so let's see what's going on here around the world. Especially for the day. For the day here, of course, Nasdaq is up. Gold pretty much down. Oil down. Start getting that flip around 6 o'clock. Kind of before that. 12. And I wonder if they will be able to do something before the end of the day. Right? Let me see what else is on the radar. Good to the last hour. Still nothing, man. So basically that 200 was really holding. Right, 200. We didn't see any follow through. There's some spurts that came through, but just nothing that really confirmed. But that also, what I start realizing too, is that doesn't mean to sell neither. Right? I used to think okay, if I'm not in a buy then I need to be in a sell. I used to be like, oh shoot. Hey man, if I'm not buying it, I need to sell it, right? If I'm not in a sale, then clearly that only means I need to buy it. Alright? I had no do nothing time. Alright? But this the type of price action as well. This the kind of price action that messes most people up. Is range and price action. Right? Range and price action would take all your money, man. How could you play this? Let's see if we could walk through that. I had some levels drawn out here, but even still it ranged above that level. Right? it looks like in hindsight that, oh, I could have bought it here and just been good. Unless you're trading micros, right? Micros also helped me as well, right? If you can get the same commission on micros as minis, that is a super hack. That's a hack, man. Because you could break your lot size up in those kind of trailing moments, right? And who says you can't throw 10, 20 micros, you know? I mean, if your commissions are higher, I don't do that over and over. But when you're starting, right, and it's the same, you could batch in 5 micros, 5 or 2s, right? Especially when trading the Nasdaq, right? So trading the Nasdaq, that's been one of the main things. But here, you would have really had to be in this move already. A lot of people got out here. Really, the 150 area was the number probably. But that means you had sellers all through here. They was selling, man. Their targets. Let's see what they were targeting. What were they targeting? Let's see what they were targeting. Still here is Nasdaq. We're at 25 190s. Still we're not really breaking anything, right? It's just ranging again. Pretty much just ranging. Also, I'm gonna be seeing about getting set up like a camera. I had one, but it looked so bad. I said, oh shit. I might still work with it. But also, we got a few products I'm gonna be working on. Think about making them free for like a community, man. Just stuff that's working for me, really. Right? Stuff that's really working. Of course, you'll have premium services and things like that. Eventually. And you should. Shit. Matter of fact, that's what I would add to my mentorship. I would add to my mentorship how to become a mentor and start your own mentorship on the shit you just bought from me, right? Shouldn't that be goddamn the goal? I'm gonna teach you. Damn, that makes sense. I think I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna have to write that down. How to become a mentor. Alright, so this isn't loading here. Let's reload it.
Seeking alpha, market currents. SA analysts weigh market impacts from the U.S. Iran conflict.
I'm gonna have to start this beat over
top
though.
news. Apple announces MacBook Neo, its most affordable laptop ever. CNBC, top news. Apple raises MacBook prices across the board as M5 chips, new displays signal AI first strategy. CNBC, top news. Broadcom set to report earnings after the bell.
So we may not break this 200, man, for the close. And that's the beauty about it, right? Nobody knows except the one who's gonna buy what 25,201. That's the only person that knows it's going to 201. Right? Nobody knows. But the point is not to know like that. That's not the point. That's what I'm starting to learn as well. The point is not to just be right. It's also learning to be wrong, right? You want to be wrong like real light, right? It's a way to pretty much see these days actually are supposed to be days that you make like a lot of your money for the week, right? But also they've taken a lot of money. That's another thing, which is why position sizing and things like that is so important. It really is to know how much you're risking is fundamental, right? And then what you do is just go back and look and see where is it going, where is it trying to go. Today is a monumental flip day, alright? So we're kind of going back into this range here. Alright. Still not trending upwards, but it's an upward trending day. Alright. I think we had something here. And we just map out everything. To me now is starting to just learn to map out levels and then play those kind of, you pretty much doing a hypothesis, right? It's a science experiment and a thesis. You got variables that you need to control, things like that, right? But like I say, these kind of days are, they could be good and bad, right? Because you could start to get wiped. These candles look small, but they're this one candle. That's 87 points right there, right? 87 points at 20 bucks a point, right? Right? Look, am I tripping or is that for real? Right? That's what you'll start to ask yourself. You're like, did I just blow an account in a minute? In 5 minutes? That's what you'll ask yourself. Did I just blow this in one 15-minute candle? Right? Thinking that you need to put your stop down there. Right? $20 a pip. Right? Okay, and then you could get it.
Alpha.
So your goal is to have the smallest amount of risk.
Avalis posts record rally after Q4 beat.
Even here.
Seeking Alpha. Market
That's
currents.
30 points.
CoStar Group insiders, including CEO, buy shares after stock slides. CNBC.
That's 600 bucks stop right here
Broadcom
in 5 minutes.
Report earnings after the bell.
That's not an opinion. That's a fact. That's a fact. Right. So if you start breaking that down, right, or even getting to smaller time frames, or trying to catch, you know, the right momentum and mastering getting out of fast, right? Because look at this. On the 1 minute, it even once you put your stop in there, it still came back down. That's a 1 minute candle. And in 1 minute, it went 39 points. In 1 minute. Alright. You're either up or down 780, 800 bucks. That's crazy. Alright. And that's just on one contract. 1 minute. So being able to maneuver that, right? That's the goal, right? That's the only goal. Alright, so let's take a look and see where we are now. Coming to the end of the hour. So looking at the 500s possibly. 450s, fives, of course 400 first. And that's if this holds, right? So if we start tanking back through here, right, then right, you back below 25,000, then that's a no-go. All right, so now you're like, okay, I have a directional bias, right? You literally have a bias, so that means don't. That's the real pressure as well. Don't do shorts, all right? Don't do shorts. It's just to wait for your long opportunity. And of course, right now, today, honestly, is not the time to play it. Honestly, right? That'll be waiting for tomorrow. You still have the rest of the week, right? As long as we hold this 25,000, man, it's up, right? Literally. But like I said, man, these kind of moves are the ones you gotta be careful of, because they look small on the candle, you know, on hindsight. But in one 15-minute candle, right, you're doing, what? Was that 90 points, I believe? Yeah. 87 points in 15 minutes. Right? This is how you could wipe out your damn account. And that's just one mini. You throw 10 minis on this, I mean, you're either, right? So, and that's the opportunities we have, right? So that's something else you gotta embed. I'm like, embed that in your head. That this you got a major amount of opportunity, right? One good trade a day is more than enough. 2 to 3 a day, right? Or one a session, something like that. Man, look, that's the way. That's the only way. Now, oil, knowing that oil has been up with all of this, man, I hated that they gapped it on the open, because I was expecting that move. Once everything popped off, I was like, oh, man. I was like, man, it has to be some way to trade this during the weekend. Alright, I was thinking like forward contracts or what's happening there. But oil gapped up and it's pretty much ranged from that, alright? So we're looking here. And as you can see though, it's been it tanks pretty much after these kind of moves. It tanks, so it's like they do something to inflate it and then they sell it off. But with this, man, depending on how long this really stays going.
Top news. 2 reasons why the market is rallying Wednesday and defying Iran war fears. Seeking alpha, market currents. Southern upgraded at key bank after shares have lagged utility peers. FX Street news. US dollar index eases from 5-week highs as safe haven bid fades. CNBC, top news. Representative Tony Gonzalez will face House Ethics Panel probe over sexual misconduct claim.
See, and they didn't even close the gap.
CNBC, top news. U.S. crude oil surge eases after Bessent pledges support for tankers during Iran war.
Yeah, with this, I mean, it's ugly. I mean, they pretty. To me, it's like I see these kind of days as them hogging the move. Somebody else is getting all this damn money. Cause the way, all right, 67 was the close on Friday. Opened at 75, man. I said, oh man. Opened at 75. Right? Then I was kind of hoping we'll get this move out of here and back in. Didn't happen. Today, another move just... This was the only move here. Which was a great move. Alright? That was, I think that was, what was that? That was Tuesday. So that wasn't even Monday. Let's see how we could have caught that. I think that one was like a nice cross here. Possibly a trend line. Simply a trend line, honestly. Yeah, I think you ought to trade like Batman, like have a tool in every situation. Find the tool for the situation that makes sense to you and others, really. But if it really makes sense to you, I mean, hey, that's where it starts. Because even a trend line, I mean, look at this. I mean, and that's not to even say it was wrong. But once it goes back below here, it's wrong. Alright. So that's where I start training myself. Like, okay, if I got in here and, okay, I need to get out right here. And then enter again here. Now, look at the second try. Now these are things that to really kind of start making you see and believe how much money you could really make in this stuff, right? And it's an unlimited amount of opportunities. One opportunity here, okay, it didn't work, or it partially worked. Look at this next move, man. So you got in here on this break, and you got out. I'm gonna be real pessimistic here, right? That's a $3 move, man. That's damn near 4,000 bucks per contract. Per contract. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's insane, man. That, and then I look at those type of things over and over, and I'm like, man, all right, okay, all right. Let's look at something else here. Let's see if Nasdaq, nothing. Last hour still really doing nothing. See about the ES. That's what. And look at this pivot just sitting out here. It didn't even hit the whole number. So we could be getting that pop up, man, right now actually. Depending here. $48.9 here. Alright, here we go. Let's see if we can get it this hour. I think we can. This is where the smaller time frames and different structure points start helping. See, right now we still... You really want to definitely get back above 2, honestly. Just logically, right? Without any tool, you want to get back over 200. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's see what we get going here, man.
We have put another video on the feed for you to watch.
Oh, is Trump speaking? Trump about to speak. Shit, it's about to go down. We about to have that on live. See if we can get it. Oh, what channel is that? I'm gonna have to start this damn song over too. This mother go hard as hell. go. Alright. And that was in 1 minute. So then you start, and those are things as well where it's like different tools for different things. Alright. The tool there, and I had just cut it on, which is crazy actually.
AWS introduces OpenClaw from Amazon Lightsail to run AI agents.
But the, I need to start that one over. That's a cold song there. But the tool there was news, man. So it's like, matter of fact, I'm gonna write these down. The tools is definitely news, which is just information, right? You want to have some information source.
According to
Alright,
US
so
Secretary of State Rubio spoke
after we have
new
news, of course. Of course, you have VWAP and the
Iraq's
profiles.
The system says any entity that aims to interfere in Iraq or the region, including NATO, France, Germany, and Britain, would have its interests as legitimate targets for the group.
But then you have really any technical type of tool, right?
Trump and Truth Social just
You have all your
Venezuela
technical
saying
tools,
that
which
oil
is
is
everything
beginning
off
to
of
flow.
price, which to me are valid tools, right?
Doesn't
If they
just
make
saying
sense
that
to
oil
you.
is
If
beginning
you have
to
a
flow.
moving average, of course, which are always used, and it makes sense to you, then use it. And if it doesn't, then completely disregard it. All right, we're watching this level here, 150s. Here we go.
Investing.com, stock market. Stocks surge, Nasdaq gains more than 1% as solid economic data lifts spirits. CNBC, top news. How Anthropic AI ban from Trump administration can escalate to existential business risk for fast-growing company. Investing.com, commodities. Manufacturing rises as tariffs weigh
Speaking
on
on
consumers,
Anthropic,
Fed
bro,
beige
that's
book
a
shows.
crazy deal. And then
Investing.com,
OpenAI end up making
stock
a deal
market.
like the next day or
NVIDIA
something.
CEO hints at end of investments in OpenAI, Anthropic. Investing.com, stock market. AI disruption will challenge lending decisions in coming years, Goldman exec says. Investing.com, stock market.
Alright, so let's see here.
$2.25 billion settlement, clearing COVID vaccine
Those
patent
are two
dispute
great
overhang.
moves right there.
Seeking alpha, market currents. BTIG's Jonathan Krinsky, investors should shift to an offensive positioning strategy. Investing.com, stock market. For some small businesses, a tariff refund isn't worth the pain of pursuing it.
Now, also to contradict what I said earlier, right, which is crazy, which is what's crazy about the market, right? I was mainly bullish, right, with no sales if you rewind it, and still could spot sales, right? Yeah, I sold it. Yeah, I sold it, man. Cause I saw it. It said sell it. It said sell it. All right.
According to AJ Breaking, they cite an
But the
Iranian
most
military
important thing
official
is the
to
risk was
have
capped.
told Iran News
Right.
that activating plan to overthrow the regime will push us to strike energy infrastructure in the
The
region.
risk was capped. All right. Once this 200 gave away, he mentioned Trump in somewhere. Right. Some news. I think the news is out actually. Let me see. All right. That just gives it a reason to move. All right. That's the reason.
Well, hello everybody. This is Donald J. Trump.
There it is.
Behind the markets. If you're a real day trader, go real time at financialjuice.com/purchase and save.
If you aren't using Financial Juice for your news, definitely start right now.
Brilliant deal. Come on, people.
All right, let's get it here. Let's see if we're gonna have some kind of bounce here at this 150s. 146 looks like here. See if we can. Oh shit. Oh my god. Did I buy in these? What's up here? Where's the time on it? There we go. Alright, 2:14. It's only been 15 minutes into this hour. Those two trades, it felt like damn near forever. Alright, so right now we just had this kind of sell off here. Even gold sold off some more. Is this for the day? That was definitely the move. Right? We start tanking some more. What I need to do is try to pull up. There we go. All right, let's see. And the most important thing, like I said, I'm always working on this, is maxing, or what I would say is limiting your risk, but maximizing the discipline to stick to it, man. Alright, because a winner, literally, what I start noticing when I'm trading my best is I'm limiting the shit out of my losses. I mean, really drastically. And then I'll be surprised how drastic the wins are. Let's see if we can get down and take this 38s. We took that out quickly. Oh, I'm gonna have to remake that joint. Alright, so let me see here. We may get another sell off here. See if the 150s trying to hold it. Alright, let me turn the auto centering off. There we go. So this allows you to kind of see, right, in a kind of bar type of format, right? You kind of can see it going up and down instead of it just always being in the center. Right. Okay, so it's happening right now. Let's get this thing up going.
According to the Wall Street Journal here, some European leaders are now openly challenging Trump over Iran. Just a heads up on the video, Trump is now arriving into the room.
So what happens here is major movement. Alright, so it's gonna be hella volatile.
The leaders of Britain and Spain ratcheted up their war of words with Trump on Wednesday, spelling out why they didn't back the US attack in Iran, calling it both illegal and
Super
unwise. We'll get
volatile
out the
here.
article for you soon as well.
Now you could choose to trade this or not, right? But you're gonna know how to get out. You need to know it's gonna happen, whatever is fast.
Meta's CFO Susan Lee, speaking at Morgan Stanley conference, says the hope is to develop silicon chips to train AI models. Trump saying we're doing well on the war front.
Turn them up.
Very well on the war front, to put it mildly, I would say. Somebody said, on a scale of 10, where would you rate it? I said about a 15.
He's gonna say we did an 11. All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, we were definitely an 11.
In the world by far. And that was
We have posted out the article on the feed as well from the Wall Street Journal. Again, some European leaders are now openly challenging Trump over Iran.
I think we have great support, and I think if we didn't do it first, they would have done it.
All right, let's see if we can get something here.
That was possible. And if we didn't terminate the worst deal, one of the worst deals ever made,
We start taking out 40s.
nuclear deal, I call it the Obama nuclear deal, where he gave everything to Iran,
I'm gonna get in and start trying to stay tight until we get a runner.
Trump on Iran says we're in a very strong position now.
Then if we could start breaking this 30s.
Trump says everyone who wants to be an Iranian leader ends up being dead. So again, everyone who wants to be Iran's leader ends up being dead.
So
Iranian
how do
missiles
you
and
trade the
mortars are being
news?
wiped out.
Right? How do you trade major news? Right? When it comes to major news, how do you trade it? You trade it carefully, that's for one. That's for one. Right? And then to do that, what does that mean? You lower your risk. So that you lower your lot size, right? If you're trading minis, drop to micros. Right? Drop to micros and just limit your risk, right? I mean, that's really the name of the game. And then you just trade your same exact strategy. If it's going to go up, it has to go up, all right? If it's going to go down, it has to go down. And then all else is the chop, right? Once it chops, is pending against two numbers or something, all right? You give it so many chances.
Market
Continue
currents.
forward.
Big tech trade group warns Anthropic ban could hinder tech access.
But that's how you trade news. And then you just watch for reactions, all right? Now, if you get whipsaw reaction, revert to the number one rule is to reduce your risk. And if I could get better at that, 1% a day, you've done great. All right, 1% a day. All right, here we go. Still nothing major here. Nobody's taking any major conviction trade here. Here we go. You saw that? That was it. You saw it. Alright, so what that does is hold our risk. I'll reduce it even more here. So now our risk went from 150, 170 now to 110. And really we're going to go to break even. Lock in 20. See if this thing continues. Now you're literally in a risk-free trade. Alright, and then we'll try to get out on the other side of the profile here. Hopefully it doesn't come back up before I can pull it up here. Alright. We should get some kind of continuation. Now whatever happens, it really honestly, unless you're still in trail and drawdown. If you're in trailing drawdown, you want to go ahead and take your profits right pretty fast. But we're going to see if we get that continuation, and this is how you trade the news, or real-time breaking news, or any news really. You just keep following whatever you had set up. Oh yeah. That's okay. Like right now, even really, we could take it. Honestly. But it's a news risk-free trade, all right? So the 100s is obviously the main level here. Now we could kind of start trailing tighter, honestly. But we're gonna start trailing this thing pretty aggressively here soon. And that's how you trade the news. Any news, really. Following those same things, just reducing risk, and then, because the volatility is gonna make up for your reduction in lot size. All right. I want to see this candle flip. I don't want it. We may get stopped out, but even then, I mean, in 1, 2, 3 minutes, see if we can get that flip. We get that flip, this is going to be way worth the wait.
Says it struck a militant in Lebanon's Beirut.
We're going to just see. We're going to see. I'm not going to move it. These times you don't even want to look at it if you may move it. Alright, and that's literally how you trade the news. That was perfect execution. And that's also what taught me to also start playing with more than one contract that moves like that. So you could always get out of one and then hold one. Now if this thing flips, we still have 35 minutes, man. Still have 35 minutes. I mean, a lot could happen in 35. I need to buy a new mouse, looks like, obviously. Keeps... Alright, now we start breaking down even more. 20s, 120s. Is that the same one? I want to hear that other one I did. Let's see.
Trump says Google is a good company.
Oh, really? Trump said Google is a good company. That was great news. So is Google going up right now? What kind of plug was that? That'll be funny if it literally went up from there. Google's a good company. Buy Google.
With insurance broker on unblocking oil ships.
Yeah, right now, I'm not.
Further detail
mean,
links the Trump
Google's
administration
not
is in talks with at least one major
a
insurance
buy
broker
right now.
on how to get ships moving through
Not
the
up
Strait
here.
of Hormuz again. A team from insurance broker
We're at
Marsh
that 300.
Risk
We start
met with
breaking this
administration
level here.
officials Tuesday and offered to help the U.S. government create
That'll be
an
good.
insurance mechanism that can lower shipping risk and make insuring ships more affordable. Trump also praises Meta President Dina Powell McCormick. Also praising Microsoft, saying it's unbelievable.
They're trying to hold that 300 level on Google. Yeah, all those companies, man. Did Tesla ever hit? Oh, Palantir rocketed, man. Well, really, pretty much if... I don't even recall. Let me see what this one is. Oh. Oh, is that new? Alright, let's get back to the Nazi. Yeah, I remember that one. So pretty much, man, the sell-off was the move right there. That was pretty much the move. Now we start breaking up violently, then I mean you could take some buys, but as of now, being below that 200 news right now, I mean it's really not worth it. End of the day, it was that sell-off right before we knew he was about to get up and talk. They said Trump's gonna talk these two trades.
You're behind the markets. If you're a
Seeking
real
alpha,
day trader,
market
you're
currents.
real-time at financial
Mondelez may go
juice.com
small and highly targeted with its
/markets.
M&A strategy.
Save 67%
CNBC,
on a
top
subscription.
news.
Let's make a big,
Target
beautiful
is
deal,
making
people.
big
Come
changes
on.
to win back customers. Here's what shoppers can expect to see.
Another big thing too, we kind of saw when it's like really it shows intent. The tape kind of just really, it just shows you when it's time. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of times where you could see that, okay, there they are. Somebody's in there, right? See, look at this type of stuff. Right when I say this stuff, man, look, 49 contracts. Now you see you pretty much watch for a reaction. You watch and see what happens there, right? Just because they sold here, now you could kind of say that, oh, 42.50 is kind of a wall now, right? Why didn't it tank? Here we go. There we go. You see? Look, and now you're going to see if it holds it or reclaims it. Alright? And now you saw it reclaimed it. Like what kind of, how do you explain that type of stuff, right? The way I explain it is that you just pretty much wait for the reaction. I mean, you don't have to pretty much explain it. You see some kind of anomaly, then you kind of wait. I'm going to take this break here. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see if anything shows. 35s. Let's see if 35s give way. See, it's because when I see 49, I'm like, why wouldn't it tank immediately? But you see, it's holding below it. I'm gonna try one. Let's try it. And I'm gonna just be real honestly tight with it. I'm not gonna give it much. I really don't want to see it flip, honestly. And you really want to be over 42.50. I ain't giving much of any room. Honestly, I don't want to see this number reclaimed. Alright, we're out of there. And really, that was it. Right? Alright, let's see if we can get it again. May get this flip. And we're only, what, 20 minutes out for the end of the day. There you go. You see it reclaimed and held. Now they're pretty much waiting for him to say something. Alright, so nothing there. You pretty much saw that they kind of hit it and then it just reclaimed, right? He's not saying much here. Yes, this is live. He's speaking right now, which is where we caught these two sell-offs. Okay, and then we're gonna see if anybody starts stepping in here. They're kind of pacing, speeding up a little. People are really wondering what is going on, man. Yeah, they're wondering what in the world is going on around the world, really. Honestly, they're trying to figure out what's going on around the world. Right? The people are, right? Yeah. They're trying to figure this thing out. Oil's going back. Here we go. And we're pretty much just about 20 minutes out from the close here. All right. I'll try one long here. Yeah, we're just gonna see if we get any kind of upward expansion. All right. And this is where also like you have multiple contracts you can start scaling out, right? For one contract, I just started reducing the risk, right? Just reducing it, right? Pretty much cut the risk in half. So a lot of people wonder, how do you use the tape for entries or exits or anything like that, right? And even myself, right? I used to ask myself, I still do, honestly. How do these things work and matter, right? And it's kind of like, you pretty much, to me, I think you kind of need both, right? For myself, like I said, it's all about having different tools that make sense to you. A chart to me gives a tremendous amount of value. A lot of information can be derived from just looking at a price chart. A lot of information, right? But it also doesn't tell you the future, right? Now, looking at the tape gives you a lot of information, right? It gives you like micro information. And if you think whether you're going in the markets for either a long term or a short term, you literally are going to pretty much trade within 1 second, no matter how long you're going to be in a trade. So looking at the tape kind of helps you focus down onto the best pretty much seconds to enter. If that makes sense. And exit. Like right now, price confirms, okay, I need to be getting out of here pretty much. But we're going to see if this holds though. Because these are exercises that's really useful. Right? How to stick with a stop, how to not see losses.
Top news.
That's so horrible.
Google's AI chatbot
Now this thing
allegedly
starts
told
flipping.
user to stage mass casualty attack.
20 minutes out, I'm
Rumble
pretty much
dev
done
suit
for the day.
claims. Seeking alpha, market currents.
But those were
signals
great
strong
examples,
Q4
great
and
exercises.
FY27 revenue momentum with $342 million backlog and robust live events pipeline.
And if we could get this thing to break even for the last 20 minutes, that's going to be way better, right? Even better. But using the tape helps you pretty much, it kind of helps you judge within the second, right? What you're going to do. Kind of refines your second, right? So have your levels picked out. And that's what's worked for me. Have your levels picked out, right? And these help you refine your levels and actually see, like, okay, like right here, you would think 150 was the area, right? You wouldn't even think of 155.50, right? There's 24 contracts in there, right? And you saw it was taken. You saw it. Now you see 57s here, right? That's where it starts providing value. So reading the tape helps in those kind of aspects. And now you don't see, look right now, you don't see any bids here. But you're seeing people coming in here. You see this 57 gets taken out. And I'm just looking for a great moment to pretty much go break even. I want to see, I'm not seeing any heavy bids setting up here. right, to kind of justify anything. All right, got this block here, kinda, but there's no reaction. We may get it here if we could start blasting up here past this 60s. All right, then we can start trailing. Here we go. Now we're gonna start trailing. Now we're locking in profits. Here we go, and we're gonna see how far we can get. I may trail this aggressively. I'm looking to see how aggressive we could trade this thing. Alright, we start taking these out. You see 60 now. It's being held, so we're gonna move that. We're gonna move right here. 54 is great. Cause they could all, especially on the Nasdaq, they could always press this bad boy. But you're pretty much now past 1-to-1. Alright, our risk was literally right here. 42s, and we're already pretty much double that, and we're still in it, and that's what you have locked in. All right, so now we're gonna see if we could, they're pressing it here. All right, we're gonna start getting aggressive with it. I really now don't want to see this thing flip. All right, you want to see this momentum keep going, and if it doesn't, hey, so be it. Alright, and that's how I start using a tape. Now you see 68s. So another thing, the tape starts helping you really in the trend, really when things are happening. Alright, that's when I pretty much find the most value out of it. If it's ranging, something like that, I mean, that's where your price action is coming in handy. Or you could see where it's being absorbed and things like that now on the tape, right? But I pretty much just use the bars, man. I may have this up, of course, but if it rejects, you'll see it. Trump's still talking here, though. And that's how you trade the news as well. I mean, all this is how you trade the news. You just have a plan, and you stick with it. We've already locked in pretty much 3-to-1 here. We're still seeing if we can trail this thing. We start getting this pop up, this will be insane. This could be real crazy here. Alright, we may get that pull back. I'm not worried here. Now if this thing reverses and pop up, that's gonna be a big move here. I mean, we can see here where we could clearly start trailing. And that's using a price chart. It's just the price and the tick and the
top news.
Actual tape is the same
South
thing. Alright, this is just the closing tick.
Days. Could it happen here?
Alright, let's see if we can start taking out this 68s, 67s, and we'll start trailing. But again, our risk was 42.50s, man. Really? Yeah, it was right below here. And we've already trailed more than that. If we could get this flip, I'm trailing again. Let's get back to Trump. Let's see. Alright, we'll make it stopped out here.
Well, hello everybody. This
And we're right there. I know damn well though.
If you're a real day trader, go real time at
Oh, stopped out here.
/purchase and save 67.
Bro, doesn't he look like goddamn?
Isn't that one big, huge, brilliant deal? Come on.
Bro, doesn't he look like Sam Altman, bro? He look like... I know I ain't tripping, bro. Doesn't he look exactly like him, but older? Am I tripping? Or am I tripping? Does that not look like the same dude? And he's on here talking about a. Is this Sam Altman's father? Why does he look like that, bro? Look, now I have to find out. That's Chris Wright, bro. Why does Chris Wright look like Sam Altman, bro? That is so funny to me. Alright, so anyway, nothing happened. We did get like a 3-to-1 on that trade. That was perfect. And that's how you trade the news, man. Right there. We're in the last 10 minutes here. That'll be something we get a tankage. We got right up to that 60s, 68, and then we flip. Alright, here we go. Alright. Oh, here we go, here we go. See if we get this 100. Ho! Can we get it? Can we get it down to the... And... Can we get it? Let's start taking some off.
Seeking alpha, market currents.
Let's go.
U.S. stocks inch up as Wall
All right.
Street assesses the latest labor report. Oil prices.
Can we get one?
Seeking alpha, market currents.
I don't like how they're
Most
not
at
getting
least
it.
shorted energy stocks with up to $2 billion market cap.
And
as of
watch,
then.
it's gonna be another flush. The 100 is definitely the level. Alright, we're gonna just go in low. We're gonna just dip the toe in. See, they're hesitating around that 100. Can we get in? Alright, there we go. We're gonna get on out of there. Alright, let's see. 100 is the number here. Alright, we got that block right here. Let's see if anything heavy comes. If they start dumping a lot, just watch for it. Yeah, see how they start hesitating? So it's definitely the 100 number. Here we go. I'm gonna try it. Let's get it. Alright, let's see. Now, if this thing starts flipping like the last 9-10 minutes, that'll be crazy. But I'm not gonna give it much room. Definitely not giving it much room. I want to see 24s hold. We're right at 28s. Alright. So they're not hitting it. Come on and hit it. They're trying, but it's not happening. That major tank, something happened, man. Somebody just came in there, dumped 2, 3, 4,000 contracts. 2,000. Somebody wants to do something. Here we go. Come on. Alright, that just pretty much confirms our stop. Not happening here. If we can get out of there early, that'll be great. Let's see. See there, we start seeing, once they start pulling back, it's like you need to try to get out of there. Alright, I'm pretty much done for today. This was good though. We still caught a nice amount on this. Right, that was just the last contract. I think we caught like 20 points right here, 20, 25. Yeah, that was a good break, right? That was a good, pretty much trend line break. And then once it happened, it pretty much literally happened in 1 minute. And this move, I mean, of course you got 100 here, so it's like they're not really wanting to get there for some reason. See, they're trying to hold it and things like that. I'm starting to really notice a lot more times than not that first time where your mind says get the hell out, you want to get out. And then if not that time, you damn sure want to for sure get out on that second moment your mind says, okay, I really need to get out. Right? Right? I mean, down here, we caught this quick move. That was a quick move, man. But when your mind says, hey, man, that's something I literally am working on every single day.
Seeking alpha, market currents. Vulcan Materials downgraded at JP Morgan after Q4 results missed expectations. CNBC, top news. Tech industry group expresses concern to PTX over supply chain risk label. CNBC, top news. How Anthropic AI ban from Trump administration can escalate to existential business risk for fast-growing company.
What?
CNBC, top news. Epstein files, House Committee subpoenas Attorney General Pam Bondi.
Alright, so this looks like we'll definitely be carrying this into the close here. It looks like they want to set up for another up, but is it worth it? I mean, if your risk is here, to me, here at the least, at the most. Alright. Now you need to be rethinking and getting out. Alright. Definitely, if you haven't, be sure to check out the website huntfortrades.com. I'm also putting together some major tools there for you guys for free. Okay, so things that I find that's helpful, I'm gonna be releasing those out as well. Nothing happened here. Let's see where oil's ending up. Oil. Yeah, like I said, man, I hate how they did oil this week. Even with the known plays, man. I mean, we had what, one good day, two maybe Monday and Tuesday. And this is when I started realizing, I'm like, people that say price charts are useless and all this stuff, man, it makes no sense to me when you see stuff like this happen, right? Even if it only worked 60% of the time, right? That's a hell of a lot of chances to where it could be beneficial. Now let's just go back here in time. People that say price charts or trend lines and things like that, just your simple tools, are useless, it makes no sense. Because look here, with just this much data, you pretty much already have this trend line, right? And if anything, you have it here. Now just literally taking this channel into the future, before any prices have hit, if price charts didn't matter at all, how is it possible for this type of reaction to happen in the future at any time? How is that possible? Right? So, okay, that means something needs to be studied. Alright guys, so we're wrapping up for the day here. This will be the end of the market. Market is coming to a close here in 10 seconds. Be sure to like, subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing these more and more often.
Seeking alpha, market currents. Rayonier Advanced Materials targets positive free cash flow and substantial EBITDA growth in 2026 through pricing and portfolio initiatives. Seeking alpha, market currents. Most and least shorted energy stocks with over $2 billion market cap as of Feb. CNBC, top news. How Anthropic AI ban from Trump administration can escalate to existential business risk for fast-growing company. CNBC, top news. Epstein files, House committee subpoenas Attorney General Pam Bondi. CNBC, top news. Nvidia CEO Huang says $30 billion OpenAI investment might be the last.